Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am at my house here in my garage, and I thought today might be interesting to do a test with some different setups on antennas with HDZero. I know this is not going to be a, HDZero is better or worse than this other digital system or analog system or any of that kind of stuff. It's not going to be a which antenna is the best necessarily. It's just going to be a couple of different antenna setups that I've used in the past on my analog setup and on this one, although I haven't used all of these on this one before. But I thought it might be an interesting test. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my house as an interference thing. I know that when I'm standing out here facing away from the house and I fly behind me, in particular when I fly behind me down low behind my house, down in my backyard, signal typically for me has been atrocious. So I kind of want to see if any one of these setups does better or worse than another one, and then I may do some other tests flying out beside of me over here behind some of these houses, because I've seen signal derogation behind those as well. And it's to be expected. These are block houses. They block radio signal, ridiculous amounts. Plus there's plenty of Wi-Fi going on around here. Like every single one of these houses has got Wi-Fi. So there's all kinds of interference. So it's a pretty good test just to see which one of these setups does better or does worse. And maybe you can use some of this information whenever you are out and flying and you want to improve your signal. For all these tests, I'm going to be on R8, which is supposed to be better for being away from like the Wi-Fi routers and stuff. Although R1 should give you better power, so in theory R1 should be better penetration, so I'm going to kind of make mine worse actually, probably by using R8. At least in some respects it'll be worse. So anyways, I've got all this stuff ready, and we're going to first start the test with a couple of stubbies, and you'll notice that I have changed how this is. And I don't understand when people put stubbies on these setups here. They're pointing exactly the same. I don't see how having two stubbies pointing exactly the same is better than having one. So I have changed one of them to have a slight off angle, which should help, at least in certain cases. In this particular test, it may not make any difference, and then again it may, I don't know. We'll see. And then I have these two guys here, and I'm going to do the same thing with these guys. I got these antennas from my buddy over in Germany, and he sent these to me, and he's really happy with these. He sent me the small ones, so it's better for traveling, although you can get these in a long version, which would be better for getting out away from you, behind you, all that kind of stuff, because it'll get the antennas up over your head, which is definitely always a better thing to do. But I'm going to put these on here just like this with these weird angles. I don't typically do that, but anyways, we're going to do that for this test today. That'll also give me kind of a bearing on how they work doing that. And we have this setup here. I'm going to have one additional patch, and which definitely is going to not help any. And then this one Omni here, this is the Pagoda. This is the Periscope by Menace RC. And I've always had really good results with this one on analog. So with these two set up here on analog, so I'm going to be curious to see how this works. In all these cases, I'm going to be making it the worst possible scenario for myself. I'm going to be facing the opposite way of where my flying will be, at least at first, going behind the house. I may go out away from me and down behind a couple of these other houses down the street, and then behind, down low, behind a couple houses, just to see how well the patches work and stuff in those scenarios, and then how having a third patch helps in that scenario, because I'm bad about leaning my head. And I'm going to be filming myself so you guys can see how my head is aiming, so that'll kind of give you some more feedback as well as how these are performing. So with all that said, I'm going to get this set up out here, and we're going to go do some flying. So for all these tests, I'm going to try to stand the same way, facing the camera here toward you guys, and then I'm going to fly around the back of my house and around, and then maybe down the street down low and then back, and we'll see how that works. So I've got two True RC antennas here, and then I've got two stubbies, Lollipops, and I'm on R8, and ignore that core temperature thing. Alright, so I'm going to try to fly slow so I don't crash. Alright, so we're going to go out And the first thing is we can kind of go down low here, behind me, in my backyard. It's not too bad. Down like that. Okay, that wasn't too bad actually. That's better than I have typically had performance-wise down low flying antennas. Okay, so let's see how far back I can go. Go down the street, back. Getting real bad, real bad. Oh, getting real bad. Okay, now let's get up high where I can get above myself. Hopefully improve my signal so I can fly back. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So I was a couple blocks back there. Alright, so now we're going to go down the other way. And they got a couple houses between us here. The patches are probably doing the best. You can see on the signal what we're getting. We'll fly down this street down the lower here. Let's see how it does. Oh, let's get real bad. Let's get up high. There we go. That's a little better. Don't want to crash there with the car coming. Okay, so that's a pretty good test. All right, so now let's bring this guy around here again. And this time I want to go. We'll just kind of go down our street. Should be fine going this way. Should be fairly clear. Now another spot that's a good way of testing how bad this is. I'm going to go down this street pretty far.
30 seconds.
Okay, now what I want to do is I want to come back. But this time I'm going to get all these houses in between me here. It's probably going to get real bad down here. So we're going to turn this way. Yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, it's getting real bad. Oh, it's getting real bad there. Okay, so let's come back up. All right, so that's a pretty good test, I think. So now we'll bring this in and we'll swap antennas, and we will try this test again with a different setup and see how it does. I'm curious. Okay, makes for a pretty good test. Test 2 is going to be these guys, and we're going to see how. These are the ones that my buddy in Germany sent me. And I've got these kind of the same way I had the stubbies. One kind of off angle, one the other way. And we're going to see how this works. Same basic test. Okay. We'll see how it does. Right. Going behind me here. Purple pins down behind. Oh wow. Very nice. Oh, don't. Now I gotta fly out. Alright, crash. So, real bad right there. That's fine. Okay, so we went down. Now we're going to do. Let's go down the street again and see how this does run down the street.
5, 4,
I think it's worse.
3,
Let's get up.
2,
Okay.
1.
There's a car here.
Timer 1 elapsed.
Definitely worse. Definitely worse. Alright, so let's go around. They got a car coming over that way. I gotta watch that car. And then behind him, we'll just follow the car down this way. I'm just gonna go slow. We're gonna see, so I'm in this corner here. Now before, this is where I'm at before, and this says there's 2 houses directly between me and my drone here. 2 block houses. There's a lot of concrete there. Now we're going to go down a little bit. See how this does going down this way. Getting sketchy. Alright, so I'll probably get back up. Getting a little sketchy there. Definitely not facing the right way, I don't think. But there's a whole lot of houses when you get down that way in front of it, in between you. Okay, so now we'll come back and we'll go down the street again. Down this street, all the way down. This should be just like the other one, should be crystal clear because we have a clear view of it all the way down there. It should be the Omnis. Actually, looks like the patches were getting a good signal too all the way down here. You can see that. Even the patches are getting a good signal. And we're basically directly beside of us. Now we're down low along the sidewalk here. And now this is where it starts to get bad when you come over this way because you got lots of houses in between you. Oh yeah, real bad. Get up. And then we'll come back. And then we'll swap batteries. And we'll try... Whoops. What's what happened there? A little too close to the ground, I guess. Okay. Alright, so that's 2 tests there. Pretty similar, although I think the little stubbies actually did better than these. I'll have to go back and look at the footage and see. And if they did, I'm sorry buddy, but they actually worked better. But we'll see how I'm facing, how my head's facing. That all factors in there. Now I want to go get the pagoda and the patch. Put those on here, swap batteries, and we're going to try that test and we'll see how that works. Alright, final test here with pagoda and a patch. I expect I'll get similar performance behind me. I'm hoping to get better performance out away from me where I have 3 patches on here, particularly with the way that I tilt my head a lot when I'm flying. So we're going to see how this works here though. We'll find out. Alright, so we're going to go just like before. Just swing the output. So far the same. So far about the same. Kind of go down this way. It's a little hard to do. Okay, so now we'll come back around. Try to fly that little narrow gap right now. I don't want to crash and walk. So now we're going to go down the street here behind me. And this pagoda is kind of out from my head a little bit, so we'll see how it does behind me. About the same, maybe. Alright, let's go ahead and come up here. They're all getting about the same distance, but I think the stubbies actually did better than all of these. Surprisingly. Alright, now we're going to go down this way. This is where I expect to get better performance because I got 3 patches pointed that way, and we're going to see how that works. Alright, so actually I had better performance right in here with the other 2 setups, strangely enough. Now let's see if it gets any worse or better as I go down this way. Okay. Oh yeah, that's getting bad. Sure, let's get up. Okay, so that's definitely not as good. The other 2 setups definitely were better there. Now that's interesting. For me anyways. And a lot of it probably has to do with the tuning of the antennas, what they're tuned for, what frequencies they're tuned for. Like the ones that I got from my buddy, those are tuned specifically for HDZero's frequencies. And HDZero uses the race band stuff. So, you know, typically anything that's geared toward racers should be good because it's all going to be down in that particular range. Okay, so we're good here. About the same, maybe a little. If you know, we'll see how this does here. This is going behind here again. Expect this to get bad. Oh yeah, real bad. Let's get up. Okay. Alright. Now we're going to fly back, and then I'll give you my final thoughts here. So this was the final setup here. Got a pagoda like that, and I've got this patch here kind of facing up, so when I'm tilted down it should be out that way. And then I've got these two patches here on the front, just like in the other cases. Now, this setup probably did the worst of all 3. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure. And I'm not going to make that determination on here between these stubbies, and these are Foxeer Lollipops, and these antennas here from my buddy in Germany whose friend makes these. I don't know which one of these was better. You tell me. You drop down in the comments which one you think was better. This was the first one, this was the second one, and then of course the other was the third one. Which one you thought did better in different areas? I tried to fly basically the same path and tried to stand in the same way. Video will determine that how well I did as far as keeping my head similar or not similar, we'll see. But honestly, I think these did better than these. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I was expecting these to do probably the best overall, except I was expecting having the third patch to do better going down the street and being behind multiple houses down that way, you know, in front of me. I figured that would be better, but honestly, I think one of these two was actually better there. It might have been this one, I'm not sure. But anyways, that was an interesting test. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow for the video for Paxember, but hopefully you guys enjoyed Paxember day number 8, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Peace.